Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and if you have ever wondered if you can brown ground beef in your deluxe air fryer or any air fryer, this video is for you. Thank you, Charlotte Britt, who is part of our community, for suggesting that we try to brown ground meat in our air fryer. Now, I decided, knowing that somebody wanted to see if we could brown ground beef, that this would be a great opportunity to do one of my husband's favorite meals, lasagna. So we're gonna do lasagna completely in the air fryer. We're not gonna use we'll use a pot on the stove to make the noodles, but other than that, it's all going in the air fryer. So are you ready for this adventure? Thank you again, Charlotte. Let's go. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is get your noodles ready for the cooker. So you're gonna wanna cook them according to your package directions. If you are using oven-ready noodles, I think you can skip this step for the air fryer, but I'm not positive. So if you make this recipe and you use oven-ready noodles, let me know in the comments below so that you can help our community members out so that they would know if it works or not. Like I mentioned, I'm doing jovial pasta, gluten-free. It is an amazing pasta. I'm not a sponsor yet, but this pasta is by far the best gluten-free pasta I have ever eaten, hands down. I'll eat other people's pasta, but I will go out of my way to find Jovial. And Jovial makes a ton of different products. Yeah, if I could get a sponsorship with them, that would be fantastic because I would use them every day. All right, so next we are gonna want to find our cooking vessel. Now, if you have a deluxe air fryer, you're gonna have a variety of choices. If you don't have a deluxe air fryer, you're just gonna have to use a dish that fits down inside of your machine. The other thing I wanna mention, which would have come in real handy during my cake adventures. Do you remember when it came out lopsided? Did you see that video? You can see this side is just a little bit higher than this side over here. Yeah, so that was user error because when I put the cake on the tray, it was lifted up on one side. So when you insert, if you're using the deluxe air fryer, when you insert your pan this time, here's a hack for you. Turn it over so you don't have that ridge. So we're gonna insert the rack on the bottom shelf. And then we're gonna try our pans. This is the quick cooker springform pan. If this is all that you have, this will work great. You'll just kind of get like a 2 or 3 serving size lasagna. The 8-inch springform pan also fits in very nicely. That's what we did our cake in. So we know it fits, and since I turned over the rack, now we're not gonna have that wobble. You learn something new every day, and sometimes you learn nothing until days later. Now, the 9-inch pan actually fits in very, very well. We knew it fit in when we did our cake, but we decided to go with the smaller one for reasons. But look, it fits in really well. It closes really well. So I think I'm gonna use this pan to do our cake. So we're gonna go with the 9-inch. And because we are dealing with a lot of sauce, I am going to put parchment on the inside of my tin. I'll show you. See that? So that the sauce can kind of stay contained inside the pan and not get all over my air fryer. It doesn't have to be all the way up, obviously. We just want to kind of catch it at the bottom so it stays in. So here's what we're gonna do. We are going to get our mild Italian sausage, which I am using New York Style Sausage Company's nitrate-free sausage, which I really love. And we are just gonna get that sausage right into our dish raw. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna crumble it into bits all around. Now when this cooks, this is gonna make a lot of oil. So that's another reason you kind of want to cover those holes. All right, so now we're gonna put in 1 whole chopped onion and 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, and now I'm just gonna mix it well with my hands. If you don't like getting meat all over your hands, you could use a mix and chop or something of that sort, but just one less thing to dirty up, it's fine. And once this is thoroughly mixed, you kind of want to spread it around in a thin layer. So check it out. We just want to kind of even it out so that there's no onion sitting around blacking itself and there's no meat that is in a clump that won't cook evenly. Okay, here we go. I forgot to mention that if you are using ground beef, go ahead and put in your seasonings now, whenever you put in the sausage as well, because you definitely want that Italian seasoning inside of your meal. Okay, so let's get this in. All right, and we're gonna stick it on custom 350 for 18 minutes. At the 9-minute mark, we are going to take a fork or some kind of spatula and we are gonna mix up that beef really well. But other than that, that's all we should have to do for that until the 18 minutes is up. In the meantime, let's mix together our ricotta mixture. All right, so to this bowl, I'm gonna add 3 cups of ricotta, 2 cups of mozzarella, and 3 eggs. I am also going to add 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. You could also just use basil. That would be acceptable as far as flavor goes. But I'm gonna use Pampered Chef's Italian seasoning. And my water is boiling back there, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick in my noodles. Look, Jovial, I love you so much. I'm gonna give you product placement the whole video because I really do love these noodles. If you are a gluten-free person and you have not found these in your supermarket yet, you can buy them on their website or on Amazon. These ones actually came from Amazon because I could not find the lasagna pasta anywhere. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a good mix. And it's gonna look like your normal lasagna mixture. If you've made lasagna before, use your own lasagna recipe and do it in here. Wow, it already smells amazing, so you know it's cooking. It's gotta be cooking, it's an air fryer. I mean, I'm just curious to see if this actually works, because if the meat is not actually cooked, I can just throw it in the skillet and we'll still have lasagna, but it smells really good in there. All right, and now we wait. All right, we're here at the halfway mark, so let's check it out. Well, it's not all cooked, but it is not raw. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our mix and chopper here and I am going to, oh, actually, it's about half cooked. So if you were doing ground beef in here, your ground beef would be half cooked right now. Color me surprised. Okay, I'm gonna get it back in for its 9 minutes. Okay, we'll see you back here in about 9 minutes. All right, the timer has gone off. Let's get out our, oh, wow. Look at that. That looks pretty healthily browned. Okay, call me fascinated. That looks pretty amazing. Now we are gonna want to drain this meat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put it into my bowl first, and then I will drain it out. Now it's important at this point that you don't bother to wipe out your pan. You want some of that goo to stay in there. But look at this. That is browned meat if I ever saw it. That is pretty fascinating. So the answer, Charlotte, is yes. Yes, you can brown meat in your deluxe air fryer. If you wanted it even browner than that, you just put it on for a little more time. No biggie. But since we're putting it in lasagna, this is probably ideal. All right, so now that that's been properly drained, let me set it over here for a second. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to put 1/4 of a cup of sauce in the bottom of our pan and spread it around. All right, and if it doesn't look like enough sauce, Just add a little more. It's fine. It's your lasagna. No one's gonna judge you for it. All right. Next, we are gonna put down a layer of noodles. How about we will eliminate a couple bowls. All right. We are gonna put most of this into our bowl here. I'm gonna reserve back maybe half of a cup because my jar of pasta sauce was bigger than 24 ounces. So I'll probably leave back just a little bit just in case. Now I'll move this over here. Now I don't feel like I'm gonna make a mess. All right, now we are gonna take our noodles and we are gonna line them in the bottom. Now, because this is a round dish, I'm not too sad that my noodles kind of did a little squirrely bit. Because they're rice noodles, they tend to really fall apart. That's no fault of Jovial's necessarily. I've done another gluten-free pasta noodle that did the same thing. It's just the nature of the beast. There's no gluten to hold it together, so it's really hard for it to stay together like a real, I don't want to say a real pasta because this is real pasta. It tastes like real pasta, but you know, like a glutinous pasta. So just do the best you can. If you're doing gluten-free, just piece it in there. It'll all taste the same. It's fine. All right. Once you have your noodles down, let's put in some meat mixture. And we're just gonna layer it on the bottom in a thin layer. All right, and now the cheese mixture. The cheese mixture will be a little harder to spread, so I have my little mini spreader, and we're just going to kind of dollop it all around. All right, and then we're just going to spread it out evenly over the top of our mixture here. All right, time for more noodles. Perfect, and more meat. All right, and now our ricotta mixture. Okay, and now more noodles. Now it occurs to me at this moment that the reserve sauce is very important. So make sure you reserve some sauce at the end so that you can pour it on the top. Otherwise, you'll have no sauce for your top. All right, look at that. Let's put a little more sauce, just a smidge. You don't want to drown it, but you do want a little bit more. Now I'll take another offset spreader. I have a million of these because I use them, like you can tell, for everything. The only reason you want some sauce on the top is you really don't want those noodles to dry out and get crunchy. I mean, maybe you like crunchy. If you do, skip the sauce. It's, you do you. That's what I love about recipes, is that unless you're baking, they're really up to interpretation. So if you have a favorite lasagna meal and you want to try it in your air fryer, you do your lasagna. Wow. This looks fantastic. I'm super excited about how it's going to turn out. Okay, now we're going to take a cup of mozzarella cheese and sprinkle it all around. It kind of looks like a pizza. Looks like a pizza pie. And last but not least, some Parmesan. This is optional, obviously, but I love the addition of the second sharper cheese because it just, I don't know, it just does a little something something. All right, and that's it. All right, into the air fryer, it's gonna go. Okay, we're gonna do custom 350 for 20 minutes. At the end of 20 minutes, we're actually going to set it again and set it for 20 more minutes at 375. So I'll see you back here in 40 minutes. See ya. Okay, we're here at the 20-minute mark, and check it out. Wow, that is really brown. I super hope that doesn't burn. Okay, well, we're just gonna get it back in on 20 minutes, 375, and we will hope for the best. Okay, it's done. Time for the big reveal. I really hope that it's not burnt. It's a little crispy. Golly. So, two things. Number one, I knew it was going to catch at the 20-minute mark. I should have covered it, or I should have covered it for the first 20 minutes and then baked it uncovered for the next 20 minutes. Why don't you bake it covered? And we'll go from there. Otherwise, had it not been burnt, it just looks burnt. Let's cut it into it and see. I'm using the Pampered Chef nylon knife since this is a non-stick pan and I don't want to scratch my pan. So here we go. If I can get, oh yeah, I can. Okay, other than the fact that it's a little crispy on the top, it's cutting really nicely. Wow. Well, it's lasagna. Look at all that stringy cheese. That is, first of all, the ugliest lasagna I've ever seen. But how does she taste? We need to know. Other than the fact that it's a little crispy on the top, I'll just break through the crispy with my fork. I think there was too much ricotta mixture. I feel like usually I do 2 times the size of that lasagna with all that ricotta mixture. Oh well, let's taste. Actually, that's really good. Okay, that crispy, it doesn't have any burnt flavor at all, and it gives the lasagna a kind of texture that I wasn't expecting, and it's like a crunchy cheese chip. If that makes any sense whatsoever, but that's really good. I think I still would cover it the first 20 minutes and then uncover it for the second 20 minutes, but you can do you. I would also half the amount of ricotta because I don't know if you can see how much ricotta I still have over here. Yeah, that's way too much ricotta. So half the ricotta, cover before you cook it. But you guys, this is good. And we did find out that you can brown beef in the air fryer in just 20 minutes. So this was a good recipe. We just learned some stuff as we went. And it doesn't make it inedible. It just makes it a little messy. Oh man, the crunchy top bit is actually phenomenal. I will hope that doing it uncovered for the second 20 minutes will give it that crispy top anyway, but not that crispy, but it's really good. This is a good recipe. I don't know that I'd ever, well, that's not true. If I took this to camping or somewhere else and I wanted to do lasagna there at camp, this would be a good option. But I'm super excited because as I was thinking to myself, why would I want to brown ground beef in my air fryer? But then I was like, oh my goodness, tacos when you're out and you don't have to fuss with the meat. Oh my goodness. I could think of a lot of ways that browning your ground beef inside the air fryer would be pretty ideal. What about you? Do you have any recipes that you would use the air fryer to brown your ground beef first? Leave it in the comments below. I'd be curious as to what else you could do with this type of idea. This has been really fun. I learned a ton. I learned that you should cover the lasagna for the first 20 minutes. We both learned that. I learned that the crispy part on top of it, even though it's a little darker than ideal, is still really phenomenally delicious. And I learned half your ricotta mixture. But even with all that ricotta mixture, it's still my lasagna and it's still delicious. All right, you guys, well, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I do videos several times a week, and I'm always looking for the next inventor, like Charlotte Britt. She asked me to do ground beef in the air fryer, and while this isn't ground beef, it's ground sausage, it is still ground meat, and I guarantee it will act the same. All right, you guys, well, we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye.